I'm Jeff Cobb, this is HybridCars.com, and today we have the 2013 Volkswagen Jetta TDI. The car is essentially the same as a Jetta of ordinary gas engine vintage, except that it has the TDI turbo diesel powertrain. In this case, it's a 2.0 liter, 4-valve per cylinder, and it's a turbo diesel that makes a lot of power very low in the RPMs. At 1750 RPM, it makes peak torque of 236 pounds-feet, which is substantial compared to some of the gas variants of this car. Horsepower is 140 horsepower at about 4,000 RPM. So what that does is that it lets the car drive very low in the RPM band, makes much power down low. The transmission can be set up so that when you're going along 60-65 miles per hour on the highway, the engine's just loping along at below 2,000 RPM, even at 60. Also, the consideration that diesel engines can, in theory, last longer. One, it's underworked. It doesn't have to be spun out to 5,000, 6,000 RPM in order to make good power. It can be nursed along and make maximum power very low. And if you drive the car like that for the length of its life, and you're a sensible, frugal driver, you know, these things have been known to go very long on the odometer compared to some gas cars. In Europe, where diesel is less expensive and it makes more sense from a cost-benefit equation, these cars sell very well, and there are many more diesels on the market. In the United States, this is the top-selling diesel. Last month, in May of 2013, they sold just shy of 4,000 units, which is not a lot of cars by North American standards, but in the diesel market, where the percentage of diesels comprise just about 1% or less of all cars sold in the US, it's very much a minority car, very much a minority market. This is the one that sells the most. The Jetta TDI is priced between $23,000 and $27,000 MSRP, depending on the trim level. The one you're looking at here is $27,850 on the sticker with the destination charge. This is the premium with nav. The EPA mileage for this vehicle is better also than the lesser priced gasoline variants, being 30 miles per gallon in the city, 42 highway, and 34 combined, and that's the same for either the automatic transmission, which this car has, or the 6-speed manual. When they redesigned the car in 2011, they made the car look a little bit less German and a little bit more generic. Which is either a good thing or a bad thing. Actually, it didn't hurt sales at all, and as the Jetta line across the board between gas and the diesel variants, it's been a popular car. It's like any other Jetta except for the powertrain. So with the handling and the driving and the performance, it's not a sports car, it's not a racer. It's the power delivery is kind of funny in that you've got all this tractor pull power out of the hull, but then the engine doesn't spin up. So if you're looking for a sports car, get a GLI and burn the gas, because this isn't it. It will go and hold a high speed on the highway, and it does spool up to speed, but the way it delivers the power is very sensible. Just like the whole car is very sensible. It's a competent car. Going around back roads, the vehicle handles well, it corners reasonably well, it absorbs shock okay. It's a very spacious vehicle too, with a 104-inch wheelbase, very, very large for compact. We're actually sitting in the most high line of the Jetta TDI sold in the US. So this is the premium with nav. So it does have a little infotainment screen. It's got multimedia. It has a steering wheel control. We also have a wireless key here and an engine start button. This one is the DSG automatic transmission, and a 6-speed is also available. It's not bare bones econo box, but it certainly is not high line, and you're not going to mistake yourself as being in a BMW by any stretch. When they redesigned the car in 2011, the Volkswagen was criticized for really decontenting the car. The bean counters went crazy and saved a bunch of Deutschmarks in building this vehicle. Then they made it a little bit better afterwards, and this one's now improved. For instance, the material on the dashboard is all soft touch. You can squeeze your finger into it. It's not hard. Still have the hard plastic over here on the doors. The leather wrapped steering wheel is nice. It's a little bit large-ish, but it's not that big. Everything's a clean layout. The dash or gauges are analog. Simple switch gear. Good quality switch gear throughout. It's a functional, usable working environment. That's what you've got here. There's a reason why Volkswagen's Jetta TDI has become the big fish in the small, clean diesel market pond. It offers probably one of the strongest value propositions in the face of expensive diesel and a higher MSRP. It's a durable car. It's a well-constructed car. You also would want to probably take a look at, unless you're already sure you want the car, other competitors, namely other hybrids and even Chevrolet's Cruze diesel. This is the kind of car where people would want to sit down and pencil out the figures and decide, is it really worth the extra money spent? And that's something only you ultimately can decide, whether it makes sense for you or whether it's something you want to pass on.